Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. This is my time, faster than ever, hungry and I'm going to come back and take what is mine, bigger and better. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. Saddle, cut to the chase. I ain't somebody who stays in one place. Ready to go, I'm coming to play. You better know I still got something to say. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know
And mics are open.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Lady in Black, the Darlington Raceway. It is tonight, the next round, round 10 of the NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series SIM500 Esports League. We're ready to go. After the wild race yesterday in the Goodyear 400, now it's time for the drivers of Sim World here to go at it on the virtual Darlington Raceway. Good evening. I am Wesley Outland. Welcome to iRacing on LSRTV. John Mustian is alongside. John, we love Darlington. You think of the Lady in Black. You think of Too Tough to Tame. You think of the analogies and the nicknames of this wild, egg-shaped racetrack. We're going to have some fun here at Darlington. Welcome aboard, my friend. Hope you had a great Mother's Day, by the way.
I did, my friend. I did. Thank you very much. We went out and ate a lot of food. I'm still paying for that, by the way. I'll tell you what, Wesley, man, Darlington, the track Too Tough to Tame. The Sand Hills of South Carolina are going to eat some race cars tonight. I'm not saying this is going to be an ugly race, man. But I'm just saying I did some laps with the guys today, on track with them early this evening. A lot of them are having some issues with this car, just its ability to snap loose without any kind of warning at all. And it's been a kind of a difficult time for them to get used to it. A lot of these guys have been practicing for a while, so I'm sure they'll go to handle it. Right now, we've got 34 drivers in the server. So we could have a very interesting race tonight, my friend.
So, John, let's elaborate more on that. I mean, it's up for discussion. You're literally saying that the cars are literally, for some of the best drivers around in iRacing in this SIM500 series, having trouble with the back end coming around. We're really going to be watching these cars, especially when they're exiting the corners.
Yeah, that was the take initially in practice. Like I said, I was in practice with them for probably the first 20 minutes of practice, and some of the best drivers in the league were having an issue with the car just immediately snapping loose on exit of the corners, both 2 and 4. And what that means, folks, is the back end just loops around. Now, in the Xfinity and the truck cars, you can feel that happening through your steering input. In real life, you feel it in the seat of the car, but we don't have that seat of the pants, as they call it, here in sim racing. But what we do have are force feedback steering wheels for the most part, those of us that use them. And you can feel that happening with the steering wheel, Wesley. You can feel it trying to break loose, so you can make adjustments to your throttle input at that point, or how much wheel you're putting into it to try and keep yourself from breaking loose. But with this next-gen car and this package, there's no warning. It's just if you come off the turn with the wrong amount of throttle in it or the wrong amount of wheel put into it, it's going to break loose on you, and you're not going to be able to save it.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that for sure, as right now there's about 2 minutes remaining in practice. Let's take a look at the race information. It's on the bottom left of the monitor, presented by Live Sim Racing TV. Practice session rolling on. It will be field set by qualifying. If we have... field set by qualifying. However, if there is more than 40 cars, then we'll have a last chance race. So right now we're efforting, and I've actually I've just been informed by the SIM500 officials in my ear that we will not be having a last chance race. So again, hey, John, that's something different than usual. Usually we're used to having qualifying and then getting started with at least 8-lap non-chance race or 6-lap non-qualifier race to try to lock in those final spots. That's not the case tonight on this 1.366 mile Darlington Raceway. They will go 134 laps tonight around Darlington. Let's take a look at the weather conditions on the bottom right of the monitor, presented by ML Performance. It is 78 degrees for the air temperature. The wind speed is 2 miles an hour. Track temp, we're going to keep an eye on that, close to almost 30 degrees more. And John, it's kind of like Dover all over again last week on the concrete. The same could be said here on the Lady in Black at Darlington, with the air temperature being a lot cooler than the track temp for sure.
Absolutely. With 102 degrees track temp right now, that track is warm. And the warmer that track gets, the heavier the rubber buildup gets, the slicker it's going to get. So yeah, I'm in down here in the pits right now watching these guys practice, Wesley, and I'm still seeing guys looping it coming off 2 and 4, and we're down to the last couple minutes of practice. So this is going to be a very interesting race, to say the least.
Yeah, it certainly is. Of course, looks like practice is about to come to a close here in about another 3 seconds, and then they're going to go to on track and qualify. So we'll step away real quickly and get you ready for coverage from Darlington. This is iRacing on LSRTV in the SIM500 Cup Series. Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play. Check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR TV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
And mics are open.
Welcome back to the virtual Darlington Raceway. Of course, round number 10 of the SIM500 Cup Series. It is the 811 Call Before You Dig ANC 811 Series, Monday nights, every Monday night. Hopefully everybody had a great Mother's Day. We're getting ready now for, of course, 134 laps around Darlington. Qualifying is ongoing as we were on commercial break. John, some surprising names at the top of the board.
I don't know if it's a surprise, but I mean, Comstock's pretty fast. Normally, it's just he's usually not really a qualifier. Sometimes he likes to just start from the back, maybe not tonight. But it's also very early in qualifying right now. They've only about 2.5 minutes. Some of these guys will take a few minutes just to watch what everybody else does. And we just had, boy, he wrapped his car around the wall hard there. That Kevin DeBrown fella in that 93 GoDaddy car. Not the way you want to qualify here.
Cars.
Yeah, throwback cars, man. That's one of the things I love about this weekend is all the throwback. Look at that. That's Daniel Falkingham. Well, that was Daniel Falkingham. A Tide Ride Mimic.
There's the Daytona Cup winner, the number 30, Brian Macklin, Trans Service Toyota. Now, some of these drivers, as you said, John, might have their regular wrap jobs on their cars, but in essence of the NASCAR Throwback Weekend. Some of these drivers, a lot actually, are driving special paint schemes, wrap jobs for this race, which is actually going to be every broadcaster's nightmare.
Oh, no, man. Nah. It'll be fun. You gotta think positive. It'll be fun.
So just hear me out. You're so used all year long to having a certain wrap job or a certain color scheme on the race car. You see the car number and bam, 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 you know who that is without, oh, wow, Macklin, holy cow, tearing the wall down. Yeah, well, I'm going to take out the left side, the right side, the inside. All right, here it is. Here is Daniel Falkingham, January 30, first entry. Let's see what the 39 can do. And remember, John, he is the points leader. 6-point lead over Byron Daly, the man that's got the most wins of anybody on the series as well. Let's watch the 39.
That 29.5 was pretty good for a first lap.
2400's off the pole.
See if he can get anything faster on the second lap. I tell you what, I'm not sure about the A car, but the B and C truck, the truck in Xfinity, your first lap was your money lap. So let's see what we got here. Ooh. Nice. Got the pole with that second lap.
Wow.
Wow.
29.44 to a 29.48. The other ones were running 29.49s and 29.50s across the board. Falkingham will go to the pole. And that is the end of qualifying. Right at the end of qualifying. How about it? He got it right there at the nick of time. And hey, listen, we're almost ready to go. I mean, you want to talk about putting it into last second there, John. He did it. Last car to set fast time.
Yeah, and that's gotta be frustrating for the guys that were up there, like Tyler Dalton, Tommy Ryan. Those guys thought they had a really great lap, and then boom, Falkingham comes in at the very last second, steals the pole. Oh, Daniel, you're not making friends, buddy. You're not making friends.
Well, anyhow, you got about less than 30 seconds for a quick warm-up, and then we're going to go line the field up here. We got guys doing burnouts in the pit area. The hell, they're not even worried about going on the racetrack. They're just lighting the tires up on pit lane. Some guys have taken advantage of it, though, here at the Darlington Raceway. This is an awesome racetrack nestled between Darlington, Florence, and Hartsville, South Carolina. They were in action yesterday. There's Winston Tower, or what used to be Winston Tower. Now it's all nice and fancy, schmancy built up, but they call it Winston Tower.
Fancy schmancy.
Checkers are coming out. What'd you say, John?
I said fancy schmancy. Is that what you said?
Fancy schmancy. Yeah, fancy schmancy. Oh, I digress. Let's give him the starting lineup. We're ready to go at Darlington. It's go time. The Team 126 Racing starting lineup here to go at Darlington Raceway. They're going to get ready to go 134 laps. Let's give you your starting lineup on the pole. Go figure. Daniel Falkingham, he's on the pole in the 39. To the outside, Tyler Dalton on the outside in 19. Row 2 on the grid. We'll find Tommy Ryan in the 99. To his outside, David Comstock in the 13. Row 4 here in Darlington, Trey Edson in 7, Jimmy Coleman in the 54. Row 4 tonight, we'll find Chad Coleman in 38. He's got a couple of wins this year. And Eric Arnold in the 31. And to round out your top 10 at Darlington, Scott Simley and Jose Gonzalez. Get that Macho Taco ready. The 26 will start 10th.
Row 6 finds Kevin DeBrown down there in the 93 car. To his outside, Bentley Glazer in the 18. Row 7, we see Joey Chatina, Brian V. Macklin out there on his right-hand side. Row 8, Scott Stenzel down on the inside of the 42 car. To his outside, newcomer Elliot Anderson in the 37 car. Row 9 finds Jeff Ryan in the 3 car. To his outside, Justin Mons in the 49. And closing out your top 20, Glenn Campbell, the Rhinestone Racer. Car number 44, and to his outside, Paul Crumride, the 15.
Moving on to row number 11, Mike Kelly in the 2, Robert Ferrari the 3rd of the 77. Row 12 tonight, Bobby Wetzel in the 9, Byron Daly in the 06, row 13. Doug Roth in 43, Stoney Benfield in 75. Row 14 will find Richard Beasley in the 10, Josh Parker in 81. To the round out the top 30, it is Charles Woods in 40, Mike Montesi in the 6. Take a look at the rest of the lineup, including Ron Holyfield in 1, Jose Medina in 24, along with also Chris Gaveau and Doug Sigmund. And the final couple of rows, including Brian Workman in the back of 35 starters. Field is ready to go. The lady in black, the track too tough to tame. Watch out for that outside retaining wall. It's gonna creep up on you as the field works their way off turn 4. Pace cars in. They're ready at the firebox all the way to the start line. Green in the air. And we are underway. SIM500 round 10 at Darlington is underway.
Wow, what a nice start by Falkingham right there. These guys are going to probably try and take it easy for the first couple of laps just to see how this car is going to feel on the race trim here. And then we'll probably see some pushing and shoving, some beating and banging. And obviously, Wesley, we're going to see a couple of Darlington stripes.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it, man. We will. We talk about it. You want to use the wall as your friend sometimes to help you negotiate around this racetrack, but it can also become your worst enemy if you hit the wall. Bounce off the wall, especially, John, if we're really concerned about the cars having the back end coming around them off the corners. We're going to watch them, especially coming out of turn number 2 and probably turn 4, maybe entering turn 3 as well.
Yeah, this is a very tricky track. I mean, it's egg-shaped, which is not your normal shape to a racetrack. The reason it's egg-shaped is there's a little minnow pond out there off the end of turn 3 now. Was turn 1 and 2 back when this track was first built. They flip-flopped it sometime back in, I think, the 90s, maybe early 2000s, I don't remember. So now it's 3 and 4, but there's a little minnow pond out there. And the owner of the land said, guys, you can build your track wherever you want, but don't screw up my pond. So that's how we wound up with Darlington being shaped kind of like an egg if you look at it from overhead.
As a matter of fact, I'm actually doing television at Dillon, South Carolina, which is a small version of that racetrack of Darlington. And it's 0.4 of a mile compared to this 1.366 mile version of the original Darlington Raceway. And there's so much history in Darlington. You know, a lot of people might not know this, or they don't take the time to know the history of the sport. John, this was the original NASCAR Super Speedway. Okay, yes, there was Bowman Gray Stadium, and they've been running there since 1948, since the inception of NASCAR, or 49 for that matter. But the first ever race for NASCAR was held here with stock cars and jalopies and Chevelles and coupes in the 50s, 1950 to be exact, at Darlington Raceway.
Yes, sir, and we're on board now with, I'm not sure which driver that is, actually.
Trey Edson.
And you hear that throttle work he's doing as he goes to the turns? Listen to this, man. It's amazing to listen to these guys working the throttle, working the wheel as they go through these turns. This is 1 and 2 right here. It's a little bit easier to navigate through 1 and 2. It's a wider radius of a turn, so you get off throttle right there a little bit to make it sink down and come off straight on the throttle. Going down into 3 right here. Listen to this.
Got to downshift just a little bit, as John reiterated on, but you don't want to downshift too much to lose that momentum with the car in front of you. And that's what he's doing. He's losing a little ground to Comstock.
They're not downshifting. I was riding in the car with them. Nobody's downshifting right now. I thought they would be like they were in real life. Some guys yesterday in the race were downshifting, but these guys, it loosens the car up too much. The backfiring is what you're hearing. It sounds like they're downshifting, but they're actually just backfiring from being completely off throttle. Now, 1 or 2 guys did start downshifting about 10 laps into a run, which we're just about there. We're at lap 7 right now, and this is when the car really starts to tighten up. According to all the drivers that I talked to, this car gets really tight right about now with this setup. So you might see a few guys trying to downshift. If we go on board with somebody on the cockpit view, you can actually see their dash readout, and it'll tell you if they're downshifting or not.
Watch that 7, and we got a caution.
Oh, caution on track.
We got a caution on the speedway. Trouble on the racetrack for the first time tonight. Yellow flag will fall. And with 125 laps to go, It sounds like Brian, well, we're trying to figure it out here. Caution's out.
There are a lot of guys with Darlington stripes already in this race.
Yellow flag is out. We're trying to figure out who it is. I'm understanding Brian Wortman came to the pit lane, but then he exited in the 74. He's a lap down, and I'm wondering if he might have spun the car out when he came back onto the racetrack, John. We're trying to get confirmation, and here we go. Oh, we're keeping an eye on Henderson. 37 car, Henderson's car. Watch this.
No, maybe the car behind him?
Oh, iRacing's flashing the 37. Oh, there it is. Well, he kind of ink and blink and nodded his way out of there. And
yeah, that might have brought the caution out too, Wesley.
Well, there's some smoke up
right
ahead. There's some smoke up ahead, so we're just trying to find it. Who are you?
Oh, dear God in heaven. Don't do that.
What? What are you talking about?
That was a frightening noise you just made. What was that?
I didn't do anything. Oh, you talking about when I said, "Who are you"?
Yeah.
I was singing the Who.
You tried to sing it, you mean? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. I found it. It was the 49 car of Justin Mons.
Oh,
and he got loose, and he didn't even hit the wall. He just got loose and managed to save it almost. I mean, he just, no, he didn't even really, yeah, he got a little loose, but, oh, yeah, he stopped. That's why it came out. He got
All
under,
right, so our
he got under.
producers, we're, there you go. Mons is he in the traditional 49 car tonight?
Yeah, he's in
John?
the 49 car. He's in the 49 car.
So we are under the yellow flag for the first time here tonight at Darlington. We're working lap number 11 of 134 laps. 123 laps to go. I would say it's too early now for cars to pit, but honestly, some cars have entered the pit lane since the caution. Obviously, Bentley Glazier, the Bristol Dirt winners came in, Jeff Ryan, Doug Roth, Elliott Henderson, Doug Sigmund, Jeff Ryan. Some of these drivers entering the pits. What do you think, pitting early? Brian Wortman also pits again, John.
Probably trying to get some fenders banged out, man. I see a lot of guys on track right now with big old bumps in the fenders. The sides of the car look like a mess. So they've only got 3 sets of tires, and from what I've been hearing, the tires are definitely going to be at a premium. Like I said earlier, we're looking at about 70 laps on fuel. However, tire fall off is really big here. Tyler was talking to me. He said the car gets really tight after about 5-10 laps, and after that, it's just, you know, push, and that pushing really wears that right front tire down. So I imagine most of these guys just want to get some damage fixed there, and we're about to go back to green. So let's see what happens with this restart.
That's exactly right. The lights are off on the pace car. Some cars in the back did decide to come to the pit lane as they work their way down the Boeing back straightaway, the Boeing back stretch here at Darlington. There it is. We're ready to have it go back to green with now Falkingham alongside with Dalton, like the original start was made. Row number 2 is going to find David Comstock, Tommy Ryan. Trey Edson, you're on board with him earlier on one of our inboard drivers on camera. Chad Coleman up alongside. Jimmy Coleman, Eric Arnold, the Brown and Simley. Top 10 field works their way to the Geico restart zone for the first time tonight. With 12, now make it 13 laps working on the green flag. Little wheel spin there by Edson on the inside lane. Everybody had to check up behind him. They'll do so. No harm, no foul, but they're 2x2 behind a single lane leader of Falkingham in 1.
Wow, Falkingham's going to use that to his advantage and stretch out that lead by a pretty good margin. I'd have to guess about 8 to 10 car lengths right there. I tell you, this track is so tricky. I mean, it really, really is. It's such a it's a track where you have to focus on the track, Wesley. You really can't worry about the driver that you're either trying to pass or keep behind you. You need to focus on what you're doing into each turn on this track. And man, it can make life difficult for your average daily racer.
Field works their way to the back straightaway. The Boeing back stretch with Falkenham out in front. There's Comstock. He's got, of course, Ryan behind him. Edson in the black and yellow number 7. John, that's one of the things we talked about. Remember, we're used to seeing him in a white and green yellow number 7. Now he's in the black and yellow number 7. So we have to watch that. Of course, he's got a special
Jeff
wrap job
Bodine.
throwback. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Jeff Bodine tribute.
Loving it. Looking good. Oh, did I see a car bounce out of line there for a second? Was that Gonzalez? No harm, no foul. We're good, John. They're back to 1. Would you say, John, that you're surprised that these guys have been able to keep their...
spinning. Oh, that looked like the maybe the 19. Yeah, right there, that guy. That's the 9 of Bobby
number
Wetzel.
9. Wetzel at 9, sideways, saves it. A little damage. Darlington stripe on the driver left of the car. No harm, no foul. We still stay green.
Yeah, that was it broke loose on him on exit of turn like we talked about. I mean, you know, I said at the top of the show, like I said, Wesley, you know, a lot of these guys found this setup in this car package just a little difficult, but they did spend an hour and a half driving. I will give them that. A lot of these guys they're really damn good drivers here in the SIM500. You can't take anything away from them, really. And that's just typical of them. They'll find out, hey, this thing's really difficult, so let's everybody get in and do our best to figure out how to get through this. And they communicate with each other and, you know, hey, you're overdriving your corner, try backing it up a little bit, or hey, you maybe use a little bit more brake here. And I think that's what we're seeing right now, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I really thought we'd have probably seen by now at least 3 cautions after witnessing what I saw in practice. But that's not the case.
Yeah, remember one of the things we were discussing was the opportunity of possibly these cars having the back end come out from under them during the green flag runs, because that was something of a fear all these guys were talking about. But for the most part, no harm, no foul. Everybody's doing exactly what they need to do, straight and narrow. One simple caution flag after the problem for the first yellow flag of the race. Other than that, and of course that was with Justin Mons. So far, 20 laps in here, this time by. And they work down the front straightaway, 19 in. Falkenham, Dalton, Comstock, Edson, you're on board with Simley. He's in the top 10. Simley now got the back end of the 31 Interstate Batteries car of Arnold behind him.
You look back there right behind Arnold is Byron Daly, our second place points guy. Man, I'm sorry. I bit my tongue, Wesley, about 2 minutes ago, and it hurts so bad right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm having a hard time forming words, man. Oh, that hurt.
Get you a swig of water, get you some ice water, something like that, hot tea. 20 laps in of 134. Look at this throwback night here at Darlington for the SIM500, just like for the Cup cars yesterday. Some of these special cars, wrap jobs on them, and that will kind of make it some interesting for us. Look at this now. You got the Coors car and the Interstate Batteries car. Who is that? Tua Kelly.
Yeah, Mike Kelly in that two car. You got Brian Workman down low.
Yeah, Workman, another car down below. I'm loving these wrap jobs on these cars. We just got to figure out who's in who.
Well, I can tell you, Workman's car is the Morgan Shepherd Racing with Jesus car that Morgan drove for a while there in the mid-2000s.
Yes.
I did that for him. That's one of my cars I put on track. But
and I think I saw on social media, didn't you do one for a Texaco Haviland throwback?
Yes, I did. I did one for Beasley. Really, all I did for Beasley was put the right number on there for him and his name and the league logos. The car was actually one that he got from Trading Paints that had the wrong logos on it, so I fixed the logos for him and put that together for him. But a lot of great paint. This is like, to me, Wesley, especially in real life, this is my favorite time of year for these cars, is to see the new, well, not the new, but the retro paint schemes that they bring out for these races, you know. I don't know if you watched yesterday's race or not, but they had Dale Jr. and Dale Sr.'s cars from the very first race in Japan way back in the mid-90s for the Trackhouse guys. That was fun to watch. I was really disappointed for Ross, man. He had a great race going and just got a little behind on his steering and lost control of the car and wound up punching the radiator out. But boy, did he look strong yesterday.
Yeah, in case people did not know, back in 1999, when NASCAR was making their voyage to Japan, they ran 2 years at Suzuka. The final year was at Twin Ring Motegi. I think it was the second year that they were at Suzuka. Actually, I think, was it Suzuka? Or I think it might have been Motegi. So in Motegi, Japan, Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Earnhardt Jr., they had the Coca-Cola throwback cars. They had the black number 3 and the red number 1. And of course, team, Trackhouse Racing for...
The other way around.
Yeah, Trackhouse Racing drove the cars. Yeah, put Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain in those cars. The one in the 99 this past weekend. And it looked really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really funny story that Dale likes to talk about with that weekend that happened. Dale Jr., I should say. He tells a story about how, in toward the end of that race, he had pitted and taken tires and was passing his dad up and went down into turn 3 and kind of rubbed into his dad a little bit all the way down the side of his dad's car, past him, and that's all he was worried about was beating his dad that day. So they get done with the race and they're in their little portable building getting ready to change clothes, and all of a sudden Senior throws a shoe at Dale Jr. really hard, missed his head by just a couple of inches, he says, and I could just about imagine that, make Dale Sr. mad, things are going to get thrown at you.
Yeah, Dale Jr. and Dale Sr. and some of those stories are so classic for sure. So,
yeah.
27 of 134 laps, closing in on 100 laps to go. Hey, John, can we iterate on this, by the way? Darlington, 134 laps. That's not many laps. That's not a long race. It really isn't. Just under 200
It's not,
miles.
no. It's really not. And, I mean, that's what's so crazy about this track. When you're driving it, Wesley, trust me, those laps feel like they're about 2 minutes long. But they're not. They're like 29 seconds at the start of the run, more towards 31 seconds towards the end of the run. So we're clicking laps off pretty fast here. And but like I said, man, when you're on track in that car and like you have to focus literally every inch on that track what you're doing. You have to focus and make sure that you get in the right way on that turn and you don't overdrive it and you don't run over the car in the front. Look at here, Joey Gittino almost made contact right there with the 31 car of Eric Arnold, making that pass right there. Arnold gives up 2 spots right there. But it's just the laps when you're in the car seem like they take forever.
Darlington Raceway, of course, known as the Lady in Black. It's in Darlington, Hartsville, South Carolina. The track too tough to tame. It is 1.366 miles. 1.366 miles. It's an egg-shaped oval track, as me and John reiterated on earlier. Harold Brazenton was the original creator of the racetrack, and it's so cool now that it's on the iRacing simulator. We're closing in on just over 100 laps to go. John Wesley here with you. Of course, Jeff and Charles do a phenomenal job of the broadcast behind the scenes for live sim racing on LSRTV. And now look at Coleman, DeBrown, Coleman. He's in the middle of that Coleman sandwich. Brown is as he works back into turn 1. The GoDaddy car.
GoDaddy. Now, I'm trying to figure out which version of the GoDaddy he's racing. Was it the Danica Patrick version, or is it the one that Junior Motorsports ran for the longest time?
Yeah,
the Mark Martin version.
it looks like it is the Junior Motorsports version.
I think so. I think you're right. It's a good-looking car, but I just see, Wesley, there's another thing. I'm superstitious. I always have been, even in my military days, man. And putting green on a race car was a big no-no back in my day. It was almost
Yes.
as bad as having peanuts in the garage anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I just, ever since I first saw the first GoDaddy car, I'm like, what are they thinking? Why are they putting green on a race car,
Right.
man? No.
You're exactly right. There used to be superstitions that you just did not do, and now it's just like, hey, let's have a green car, you know? Yeah. So, hey, by the way, this race is 134 laps, which is 183 miles around this racetrack here this evening. 183 miles tonight. Then it's on
And I tell
Kansas
you what.
next week. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say something about Kansas.
I was just going to say Kansas is next week, and then, of course, Charlotte is following. Then we're off for Memorial Day. And, of course, that's going to be a special race, John. The third annual Never Quit, the third annual hashtag Never Quit 240 Fighting with Burl benefit race at Charlotte. That's going to be a fun race.
Yes, it is. As we watch on board with Jimmy Coleman right there, thought he was going to try and make a move around Kevin DeBrown in that 93. He thought about it, then he tucked back in right there. And I tell you what, I'm looking at timing right now, and Hockenham is out to over a 3-second lead on Tyler Dalton. I'm telling you, Joey needs to put that kid a lap down before the start of every race now. Just so we get to watch him come through the field, you know? This is just getting sad. I mean,
You know,
come on.
Buckingham, when
man.
he gets up in the front, he just stinks up the show. I mean, I don't mean to say
Well,
anything
did you
bad
see what he
about
did
the
at
guy.
Dover last week?
He just-
Remember,
yeah.
remember Dover last week? The guy wrecks, loses half the car, and drives through the field to almost win it again. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
What did he finish? Fourth, I think. He finished fourth.
Yeah, it was a top 5, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember exactly
Yeah,
where
he finished
he finished.
outside the podium. He finished outside the podium because you were trying to plead with our crew to let us talk to him, which you were already going behind the radar anyway, over late anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from him. Fantastic driver, but my God, they got to do something, Joey. They got to do something to make this less boring with Falkingham. He just comes out here and he just destroys everybody.
He needs to go through that virtual, green light testing like NASCAR does and see if we can find something.
Right? Right? Put the laser scanner on his car. See what's
Green
going on
laser
here.
scan this testing. Exactly
Yeah.
right.
We see a nice fight shaping up right here between Glenn, the Rhinestone Racer Campbell, and Joey Gentina. These are teammates, by the way, the 14 and the 44. And they've worked their way around the 31 car, I do believe, of Arnold.
I think so. Yeah, they have.
And if you look out that back window right there from Joey Gentina, you see Glenn right there trying to poke his nose up in there and maybe make a pass. He's going to move to the outside. Joey's going to get down and give way. As we go down into 1, you want to have these passes completed before you get down in here. That's you definitely don't want to be trying to start the pass as you enter the turn. It really makes things kind of awkward.
Nonetheless, that rolls
Beasley
on
back
around
there.
the racetrack. Oh, we got a car off the pace on the bottom. Number 5 machine coming down for Menards. The Menards entry, another one of those throwback colors on the number 5 entry, and that, of course, is Chris Gaveau. Chris Gaveau coming down to the pit lane in his Ford for service.
For service or to call it quits? Let's find out.
I would say it's an early pit stop. What do you think?
Well, see the 24 car right there on pit row. That's a 24 car. Is that Medina? I didn't think he made the race.
That's William Byron. No, that's Jose Medina. That's Jose Medina, and he is out of the race, by the way. He didn't even start the race, I don't think.
He's 41 laps down, so yeah.
And, by the way, Jose Medina is obviously off at the start. So here is now Coleman, 38. And now the Coleman family have finally, actually they're not related, right, John? You said that they're not relations.
No, Chad and Jimmy, no, they're not related. It's like Chad's about to make a pass here.
Yes.
And Chris Cabot has withdrawn from the race.
Oh, wow. So that's the Menards number 5 entry that has dropped out. So 2 cars behind the wall now. And like I said, I don't even think Jose Medina got a chance to get started. Here comes Arnold. Interstate Batteries, number 31. He'll drop onto the pit lane. Pit stop, problems, damage on the car on the right side of the Chevrolet.
Heavy damage. Wow. Man, that's way beyond a Darlington stripe, Wesley. That's a Darlington hammer job.
Yeah, that's what you just call slam bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, for sure.
And here's the GoDaddy machine, Kevin DeBrown. And John, so close Kevin DeBrown's been, what, the last 3 weeks since Talladega?
Yeah.
Hell, not even Talladega, Martinsville. Since Martinsville, he's come so close to being in the hunt to win. And then something happens where he gets snake bit. Same thing happened to the 93 last week as well.
Yeah, I told him he needs to get himself a golden horseshoe. Put that thing on the dashboard. What he needs to do is go to Falkingham's house, steal his computer and his rig. Maybe that'll help him out. I don't know. Wow, Falkingham almost 5 seconds, Wesley. 5 seconds on the field already. And we haven't even gotten the first round of green flag pit stops, which should be coming up, in my estimation, probably sometime in the next 20 to 25 laps.
That's exactly right.
If they can do a full fuel run on these tires, that's what the key thing is going to be. Because I mean, we talked about this at the top of the show. For instance, Falkingham right now, on this run alone, his fastest lap was a 29.5. It looks like, all right, and that was on lap 15. So here we are, 30 laps later, and he's running 30.7 right now. So that's a pretty steep decline. It's a little bit, what, 1.2 seconds, in 20 laps. So 30 laps, excuse me. But I mean, this is Falkingham. He could probably just drive the whole race in the same set of tires, right?
That's exactly right. 48 of 134. Hey, by the way, don't forget, coming up tonight, if you like, obviously, Darlington, you're going to love Coda. I mean, the biggest track in NASCAR. In Formula One, in Indy cars, you name it, they've got the left turns and the right turns and close to 22 turns, 20 turns. It's a big road course. Coda's tonight for the Northwest Cup Series.
Doing some road racing tonight, are you?
Yeah, left turns and right turns.
Low car down there.
3 wide, Daly, second to the points in the middle. Wow, there's Kelly all up under him, by the way. Here comes Macklin to follow. This going on, John, for 10th through 13th on the racetrack, and we are coming up on 50 laps in at Darlington.
50 laps in at Darlington. Look at that silver car. I love the way that thing just shines like a pretty nickel right there. Look at that. That's pretty. I think Kelly was thinking about trying to make a move. Oh, somebody just hit the wall.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry. I was just going to say we had one hit. We had one caution flag, and as I mentioned that, when the car hit the wall, I think it's Macklin in 30.
Yeah, somebody hammered that wall, dude. It sounded like the engine blew up, is what it sounded like. But we're still under green.
That was Sigmund in 04. Scott Simley, John, having a wrap job special on his car. Mobil 1 colors. Looks like a throwback to when Jeremy Mayfield, good friend of mine, was in the NASCAR Cup Series back in the day of the Mobil 1 for Penske Racing.
Yes, sir. That's a good look at paint scheme right there. I think that's the one Jeremy was running when he bumped Earnhardt Sr. out of the way at Pocono, ain't it?
He might have first career win on a Monday afternoon. Remember, he used that bump and run on Earnhardt Sr. Pushed him out of the way. I want to say that was at 99. And in doing so, Jeremy Mayfield was able to score his first career win in NASCAR at the Tricky Triangle at Pocono.
Tommy Ryan's up to second now. He's gotten by Tyler Dalton. Edson's back there in fourth. Comstock's in fifth. Tommy Ryan looking to have a better night. He's another one, like you said, Wesley, that's been close. Oh, big smash between Joey Jatina right there. Not sure what happened there, but man, he's got some serious damage to that car.
No harm, no foul. Joey Jatina falling back, though.
Oh, he's going to get into the wall right here. Hello, wall. And then, oh, wow. He had some help on that one, didn't he?
But no caution flag either. Wow. Some help indeed.
That's got to sting a little bit, man.
Was that the 54 Coleman?
No, that was when they hit Joey. No, that was the 18 of Glazer.
That was Glazer. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Glazer.
That was Glazer that got into him. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Eric Arnold has retired from the race.
Wow. Well, in the last 15 laps, we've had 3 retirees.
Yeah. This is a hard track, man. And it's, I mean, it's a very, we've already talked, you know, ad nauseum about how difficult this track is, but when you're also laps down, it's hard to stay motivated long enough to stay on track. You know what I mean? Jeff Ryan on the pit road.
Look,
in the 3 car.
Yep. A Virginia 811 car. Call before you dig. He's on the pit lane. Service being done to that 3 car. There you see this battle. I guess they say it's the best battle on the racetrack, John. We're watching it intently. It's been going on between Daly, Brown, Simley, Kelly, Coleman, all these cars. Macklin in this mix now. Look at this Coors Light number 2 of the Silver Bullet.
So closely matched these guys are. I mean, they all use the exact same setup, so, you know, that takes kind of like the setup out of the equation as far as skill and speed. So it's really all about the driver and how good they can adjust to the setup and make the setup work for them over the length of the run. And we're seeing that right now with these guys. Now, right behind these 3 guys, Ryan just came off pit road with 4 fresh new tires. Watch the big difference in speed.
Look at Macklin all up under the number 3 of Ryan. And remember what John mentioned, the new tires obviously going to overpower the drivers that are still got used up tires. John, what are you thinking? 1.366 mile track, 134 laps. We're coming up just in a few moments to halfway. You thinking pit stops, 1 stop maybe, 1 pit stop in this race? A majority of cars have not pitted yet.
Oh, I'm sure they could do it 1 pit stop if they had to, because that's how long the fuel lasts. I mean, it's only 134 laps. They can go 70-ish laps on fuel, so they could do it in 1 pit stop. But my God, man, these tires don't last, you know, maybe 40, 45 laps before you have no control of the car. And here we are at lap 61, so I got to imagine there's a lot of guys out there either praying for a caution or praying that they're able to get on pit road without spinning out. Listen to how long he was out of the throttle right there. It felt like forever, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that, as right now we work lap number 61 of 134 laps around the racetrack here at the Darlington Raceway. 61 of 134 laps. And look at Ryan. Ryan now, slide job up in front of DeBrown. DeBrown goes to the top of the racetrack. He now opens the door to the Daytona winner of Macklin on the inside. And they'll fan out single file as they work off of turn 4 as DeBrown smacks off the wall and gets a Darlington stripe, loses that momentum as Macklin passes by on the inside to 1.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, there are so many cars out there right now that have bounced it off the wall. I don't think anybody except maybe Falkingham and Ryan still have intact bumpers out there right now, Wesley.
Byron Daly, second in the point standings, now making a move up on the outside lane. Stencil is there. Justin Mons is there. And here comes the car that bounced off the wall. Kevin DeBrown now coming to the pit lane. Maybe a lot more damage than what we just thought besides the Darlington stripe. As John, is coming in for service 4 laps to halfway on lap 63.
Well, he can make it all the way from here, actually. Lap 63 out of 134. That's exactly 71 laps that he's got to go on fuel. So he could probably get in here, get these 4 tires, full tank of gas, maybe nurse the car around the track for the first few laps. After that, and he'll be good to go the rest of the way on fuel. So we should start seeing everybody start making their way down pit road now, Wesley.
So here come cars that might possibly preparing green flag pit stops. Here comes Robert Ferrari III. In his always, John, not throwback. Okay, it is a throwback, but it's every week.
It
throwback.
is, but it's not. You're right.
Miller, right. Miller, genuine draft, number 77. He's had that wrap job all year long, but I guess you could say he's had a throwback all year long. He's coming to the pits.
I was going to say, Robert's like, hey, he missed his pit, slid right through the box.
Wow.
Ouch. That's going to hurt a little bit. But yeah, he woke up on January and said, I'm just going to have a throwback year, man. And he showed up. Oh, wow. Jatini just got to the back of the 42 car. Sorry. Joey came off pit road with fresh tires, and I don't know if he misjudged the closure right there on the 42 of David Comstock, but he nailed David right in the back bumper. And see, that's another thing. Yeah, all these guys coming off the pit road now with these fresh tires, they got to be real careful as they go to passing these guys up, that they don't get into them, because that closure rate's going to be huge coming off these corners.
John, do you find it surprising that we're coming up on halfway and only 1 caution flag in this race so far?
Okay, you're going to laugh at me for my response. Are you ready? I do, but I don't. And I'll tell you why.
Elaborate.
Yes, these guys were having issues in practice, but that's kind of what sets the SIM500 apart from most other leagues. Like I said, they all were in practice early today comparatively to when they normally show up for practice, because the server opens up an hour and a half ahead of schedule, ahead of start time. But they all showed up, they all got on track, and they were communicating with each other, both in Discord and on track, about how they were getting around the track, where they were finding the problems at. Hey, the car is really loose on exit. What are you guys doing to address that? Stuff like that, right? So, yes, I'm a little surprised that we've gone as far with just the 1 caution. But then again, I'm not, because these guys communicate so well with each other as a group. Even though they're competitors, they still want to try and bring the best race forward they can. Nobody wants a snooze fest that's full of caution flags and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's Beasley in that beautiful
there's the car you did. There's the wrap job you did. There's your wrap job you did.
And he's coming in, getting some 4 fresh ones. His right side's not too bad. He's definitely tapped the wall at least once or twice, but he hasn't wrinkled it up too bad. But yeah, like I said, these guys are really, and they're the best of the best, man. They really are. Most of these guys race currently in real life, either, late models or, street stocks maybe, or some form of racing. A lot of these guys have raced in real life in the truck series. They've had a couple of Cup Series guys show up in here. So, you're talking about a really good bunch of drivers, and they communicate really well with each other, I have found. So, yeah, I'm really not surprised that we're doing this good so far. Now, when we get down to 10 laps to go, buddy, all bets are off.
Yeah, I would say that as well. And by the way, we are at the second half of this race. First half, green flag pit stops ongoing. You're not going to miss a thing. We're going to step away and go side by side from Darlington Raceway. This is the NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series iRacing on LSRTV.
This tree is going to look great here. Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. Green flag pit stops continue along here as we work lap number 75, closing in at Darlington. Round number 10 of the NC8-1 Call Before You Dig Cup Series, sanctioned by the SIM500. On your home for sim racing. Now coming up on a decade on iRacing on LSRTV. Wesley Outland, John Muschin alongside. Jeff Stabnow, Charles Hood in the production chair, and green flag pit stops, John, ongoing. And it is changing up the leaderboard except for one car. Falkingham still up in front.
Yeah. Surprise! Not really. Falkingham, man. You know, I will say this. Tommy did make up about two. Oh, caution on the track. Caution on the track.
We needed one. Oh, my goodness. There's Henderson spun around 37. Henderson, caution out as he spun right off of the Boeing back straightaway off of turn number 2. Yellow flag out for Elliott Henderson, spinning. Second caution of this race on lap number 74, John.
Yeah, it looks like he got into one really. Oh, look, it's Crumry up there ahead of him in that Michael Waltrip throwback. Might have been trying to get around Crumry, maybe. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh, Crumry got loose. Okay.
Oh, my.
Wow. How unfortunate is that?
And remember, Crumry has already been one of those cars, John, that actually had problems in the race earlier.
We're right on board here. This is going to be a good shot.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this on board. This is with Henderson, and this is coming out the front straightaway. Come on, Crumry now. Oh, wow.
Hello, Wall.
John, I can't tell if Henderson drove in there too hard or the back end came out from under the car, exiting off of turn 2, as you mentioned in pre-race, and then nowhere for Crumry to go. By the way, he's got the throwback of the Napa Know-How colors of obviously the 2001 and 2004 NASCAR, or 2003 NASCAR Daytona 500 champion of Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, actually, what it looked like there was it looked like maybe Crumry just got a little loose on exit there and kind of slid up the track into the 37's lane right there and just really nowhere to go for either one of them. Got one guy trying to catch the car, one guy trying to pass the guy that's trying to catch his car, and it's just one of them racing deals, man. You know who didn't want to see this? That guy right there on screen, the 39 car. He didn't want to see a caution come out.
Well, he has to pit, though, right? I mean, obviously,
no, he's already pitted.
has to pit now, right? No. Oh, he didn't.
He just pitted like what, 4 laps ago?
Oh, okay, good. Okay, during commercial break. I must have missed it. My apologies.
No worries. Yeah, he was on 5 laps ago on lap 73.
Well, John, first half of the race has been surprisingly calm. Do you think now that we have the second caution flag of the race, we're going to really bunch things up and get ready for some wild, crazy racing?
I wish I had an answer for you, but these guys have surprised me again. I mean, like I said, I really thought that with all the trouble I saw these guys having in practice with this setup and with this car, that this was going to be a lot more cautions in this race, but they have really done great getting around this track. I mean, yes, a lot of them have been beating that wall down. And I see a lot of guys with right side damage, but for the most part, they've been keeping it pretty straight and a really good race. It's just Falkingham being Falkingham, just dominating this race. Now, on the other side of that coin, Wesley, we know the old saying, cautions breed cautions.
Yes, sir, it does, and obviously, we will see what that scenario provides. Hey, by the way, want to join the team at LSRTV? We're looking for producers and announcers. Go apply today at LiveSimRacingTV.com. It's cutting up on a decade in 2022 as your home for sim racing. Of course, LiveSimRacing.com. New series on board. Of course, looking forward to that. I believe it'll be Wednesday night, a new Wednesday night series. Want to check that out. Should be exciting. Should be fun, obviously. And that is the new Crown Jewel Late Model Stock Series. The Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Series. John, you're a part of it. Justin is, Samuel, and myself. Looking forward to it. It all kicks off,
yes,
believe
sir.
it or not, this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central.
Wait, this Wednesday? Oh, man, no.
This
it's my
Wednesday.
nap time. It's my nap time, man.
Yeah, I think you're on a fill-in basis, I think, first.
Yeah. No, I don't do the first race, I don't think. But, hey, we're back to green, man, and wow, what a restart by Falkingham, eh?
Whoa,
we got cars
sideways.
low on them. Low. 2 and 3 cars.
3 wide.
Look at this. What's going on? Holy smokes.
Back up the hill. He gets in front of Gonzalez and Sibley and Coleman.
Look at Parker. Send it.
Wow. What a restart.
Wow. And they're still going.
You think they were excited to get back going again? Off the pace.
Caution on track.
That's Henderson again.
And another car spun back there.
Stretch.
Coleman and another one back there. Who's that way back there? Is that I can't tell who that is.
Well, we saw Henderson. We saw Coleman. Well,
Ron Holyfield in the one.
The almost entire first half of the race, and now we get ready for the second half, and 2 cautions in the last 3 laps. Cautions breed cautions.
Yes, sir.
Watch this. Holyfield into Coleman.
Oh, my goodness.
Glazer turned.
Oh, my
Saves
goodness.
it. Kept going. Oh, my. Mamma mia. And I don't mean for pizza either. Watch this again.
I'm bored with Coleman right here.
Shenanigans. Another look at it again. Watch this. Oh, my. Man, Holyfield. Looks like just John, we saw, man, on the restart, these guys were just getting really aggressive Glacier with a shot to Coleman, and then nowhere to go from there. He's along for the ride. There's Wetzel involved again. Bobby Wetzel involved. Oh, man.
That one got a lot of cars, Wesley. That one got a ton of cars. I think Comstock's on pit road, Chad Coleman, Jeff Ryan, Glenn Campbell, Jatina's back on pit road, Jimmy Coleman, Scott Stenzel. Man, I mean, you know, that was huge. And you're right, that restart was super aggressive, man. I mean, we saw some guys four wide, Wesley, at Darlington. Nobody does 4 wide at Darlington.
Yeah, it was rather interesting on that restart, the kind of racing that we just saw. Nonetheless, everything rolls on. No harm, no foul. We continue along with this race, and oh, man, wow. Are you not entertained, John Mustian?
I am entertained, my good friend. I'm very entertained.
First half of the race was kind of quiet, but now the second half of the race, holy smokes, it's been wild for sure.
Yes, it has. Jatina John, coming off the road again.
Do you pit if you've already pitted, or obviously that's a stupid question, because I mean obviously I think everybody can go the distance, right?
It's not stupid, because you gotta remember also tires at this track, man. Tires wear off really fast, so I think some of the guys behind the leaders might try to come back in, or maybe not. I don't know. I know that, you know, we have about 8 or 9 guys in the back of the field that pitted simply because they have damage to get fixed. Now, whether or not they take tires or not, I'm not sure. I see a lot of them have very lengthy pit stops. I don't know, man. Or do you wait, hold on to that set of tires and see if there's another caution real quick? You know? Obviously, our leader's not pitting. He's out there in the catbird seat, and he's pretty sure he doesn't need to worry about tires.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what develops here. As again, as you said, there is the cycle of green flag pit stops that were ongoing. Of course, when we were at halfway, we covered it, we showed it, and now as we prepare to come to the line, and I believe it'll be 50 laps to go now, 50 laps on lap 5. Oh man, John, does anybody got anything for Falkingham?
Honestly don't think so. I really don't, man. I'm not knocking Tommy Ryan or Byron Daly or those guys back there, but we've seen Daniel really just dominate these races the last 2 or 3 weeks, and really the only reason he didn't win Dover was because of the incident that he got into that ripped off the back end of his car. But doggone it if he didn't storm back up through the field from the back of the field after that with all that damage and almost win the race anyway.
They missed rear end, by the way. The entire back end of the car gone, completely shredded.
Not even a spoiler was left. I mean, there was nothing back there. He defied physics with that run, Wesley. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. He made Einstein blush. Lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back into the Geico restart zone. This pace car drops onto the pit lane. We're ready to settle it here. Shootout time with 50 laps remaining. Now make it 49 to go. Green flag back in the air. And yeah, look at this. Falkingham going again. Battle for second, heating up. All the while, Falkingham just pulls away into the Carolina virtual night off turn number 2 down the Boeing back straightaway.
The Boeing back straight. Oh, we got a car out of shape big time down there. And that's the 93
it's
car,
Henderson
Kevin Brown, hard into the wall.
Oh,
and the
man,
caution is going to come
out.
Yep, he hit that wall a ton, man.
Another yellow flag right after another restart. Caution out of the back straightaway off the Boeing back stretch. And yes, John, that is the Boeing back straightaway.
It took me, look, man, it took me a long time to figure out what that said because I go flying by it too fast.
No, if you remember back during the pandemic, that was a big thing for Darlington. They, Boeing Engineering, Boeing Airplanes, they jumped on board to sponsor Darlington.
Oh, that was just straight up getting loose. And he almost saves it, but goes back up in the traffic. And, well, actually, he didn't hit anything, did he? That's pretty good. But it was the guys behind him that got caught up in that took the most damage. It looked like the 43 got tangled up with somebody. But here we are. Man, we've only gone, what, 2 laps in the last 3 restarts?
Yeah, well, with the last two cautions, my friend, we've had a green and a yellow immediately on the restart. So, hey, let's give you your scenario summary real quickly on the bottom left of caution race information, if you will, where we're at. There it is. 1 caution, mind you, John, first half of the race, opening laps.
Yeah.
They completely went the first half with no problems. Now we've had 3 consecutive cautions, back-to-back, 4 yellow flags so far, 13 caution laps, and only 2 lead changes of the race. And I think, honestly, John, that happened in a sequence of green flag pit stops.
Yes, I was going to say that. Let's not get excited about that lead change number. That was in the pit stops, okay? Oh, goodness. I know Daniel knows we're just picking on him. Yeah, we're not trying to take anything away from Daniel and what he's doing here. It's amazing to watch some of these youngsters do what they do. You know, it's just, come on, Daniel, give somebody else a chance, brother. See, if I was as good as Daniel Smallwood, yes. Sorry, Daniel Falkingham. If I was as good as Falkingham, you know what I'd do, Wesley? Just to make it interesting, I would start from the pits in the next race.
You ain't right.
I'm serious, dude. Hey, but listen, that's what I did today for my truck races. I started from the pits. The first time I did it, I missed all the chaos and craziness and finished 5th. The second time I did it, I almost won the race. I was leading for a while, but we came through 3 and 4, and these 2 lap cars tried to wreck each other. When I checked up to miss them, the guy that was in second didn't, and he just blew by me. I guess he figured either he was going to make it through there or he was going to wreck, one or the other. But and he got the win. But yeah, starting from the pits, dude, it makes life interesting. It really does. But Daniel is just storming. This kid is just unstoppable, it seems like. I think if anybody on track right now might have anything for him, it's going to be that 06 car right there. Would you agree?
I would have to say probably. I mean, and you got to think, too, also, John, that Byron Daly is what? The number 2 in the point standing, 6 points back to Falkingham already. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Keep an eye on.
If anything, he's going to try and maybe pressure Falkingham on these restarts to make him make a mistake, you know? But that's the thing. I haven't seen Daniel Falkingham make mistakes on restarts. I really haven't.
We've had 2 caution flags back-to-back. And we are approaching what looks to be, when the green flag flies, under 45 to go, 44 remaining when they come back to the restart zone. Green flag, lights are off on the pace car.
Look who's up there in 6th, Justin Mons.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man. Look who's back up there again in 5th, by the way, Justin Mons. Jose Gonzalez got a good run for him in 6th. But, John, I was going to mention also, Tommy Ryan, Trey Edson, they got a good run going for them, too, also. Staying out of trouble.
Yes, they do. Well, Tommy's been up there in the top 3 all night long. Yeah, exactly. They just can't catch Falkingham. See what Daly does here with this restart.
Ready to come back to the Geico restart zone again. It'll be under 45 remaining. Green flag comes back in the air. And yes, second verse, same as the first, and the first, and the start. Falkingham is gone again in 39.
Wow. He's like Superman. He's bulletproof. Oh, another car out of control back there on this restart. Another car, 2, 3, 4 cars spinning. Could be another caution, I think, this time. Really? No caution for that? That was nuts, man.
We got to find the replay on that. Wow. Yellow flag did not fly this time. They kept it going. Lap 92. Falkingham leads off 2. Look at the smoke clearing.
It was Campbell and It was Campbell and the 42 of Comstock. That's
Scott
who
Stencil?
was.
Comstock,
Dave
Campbell,
Comstock.
and Stencil.
Oh man, 42 destroyed the wall.
Yeah, that's, by the way, that's Comstock in 13, Stencil in 42, and Campbell in 44. 30, lap 93 of 134. You were literally just saw, what, a lap ago, John, the smoke finally clear from the Boeing back straightaway. They did not throw a caution.
Yeah.
So it had to have been that the truck, it had to have been that the accident was down below the apron of the racetrack. It wasn't up on the racing groove.
Oh yeah, it was. Like I said, they both hit the wall pretty hard. Wow, you should have seen the impact. That was was pretty decent, man.
Nonetheless, closing in on lap 100, Falkenham still leads. Yep. Look at the Tide Ride, but it's not. It's the January 31st colors of course, the man in the number 39 of young driver Daniel Falkenham, multi-time champion on SIM500. Defending series champion of last year. And John, he is picking him up, putting him down. I'm thinking this would be his third win of the year if he pulls it off.
Yes, sir.
Yes. 2 wins this year for him. He comes so darn close to winning at Dover last week, and he got wrecked.
It'll be his third win. I think I don't remember what the record is for most wins in one season by a driver is, to be honest with you. I know it's not much, just because it's just a diverse field of drivers here, but I've got a sneaky feeling that Falkenham's probably going to break that record this year.
I'll tell you one thing,
God, they
John,
get so
right
close
now,
to that wall.
Yeah, I tell you right now, he's doing any and everything he has to do to just stay in contention and hold off anybody that gets in his path. I mean, look at this. They literally just went back to green in 4 laps ago. He's already opened up close to a second lead on Daly. 2 seconds already back on Ryan.
Well, yeah, that's what I was just about to comment on that, but I'm looking at it a little bit differently than you are. He's only a half a second away from Daly right now. They've been back to green for 7 laps, I think. And, you know, earlier in the race, he stepped out pretty quickly. I don't know. Well, you know, then again, he's already made up 2/10 in the lap. So, you know what? I'm just going to shut up now. This guy. Just when I think we got him figured out, he does something different. Riding on board with Macklin right now. He's trying to make up some ground from his earlier incident.
There is Simley's car on the outside. Here comes Daytona Cup winner Macklin. Had some problems earlier in the race, and he's carrying a cavalry of cars with him behind him. Behind Simley, up the racetrack. Wow, Coleman under attack. Behind Macklin, also Edson, DeBrown, all coming after him as we get and put lap 100 on the board this time by.
Edson's intense. It looks like DeBrown is trying to get up to his bumper. Maybe just give him a little bit loose going into the turn, make the pass. Kind of like what we saw with Byron and Logano. Did you see that finish yesterday, man? Oh.
Okay, so I was going to open that door, but since you said something, I was going to kick it in. Listen, racing, not racing. Rough driving, not rough driving. Joey Logano, William Byron, your take of it, John.
I think Logano could have passed him without having to do that. I do. If you watch the last couple of turns before that incident, Logano was really making up ground on William Byron. I think he could have made that pass without roughing him up like that. I think that was just Logano's ego at the way that William Byron had passed him up a couple laps earlier. But I think what that's going to do is
what about the restart?
That's what I'm talking about. I think on that restart, when Byron, I wouldn't say he drove him up on the wall though. That there was. Oh wow!
Trouble!
Holy smoke!
Wow, Macklin in the wall.
Big trouble. That'll be a caution.
And no caution, but now the caution flies. Coleman in the wall.
That was...
Glazier had to get on the binders to miss getting off the wall. Caution out of the back straightaway.
Macklin destroyed his car. I believe he's probably still sitting there on the exit of turn 2.
Yellow flag out for the 5th time Cinco here at Darlington. And it happened on the bowling backstretch. We'll see a replay here in a few moments. It's presented by Always Poles Poppers Fishing Lures. And John, I think also everybody's coming to pit road. Late race pit stop, you think? Money stop. They got to get new tires.
Yep, they all want those new tires for those last 30-some-odd laps they're going to run. Kind of knew this was coming. We're about halfway between the last time they pitted and this time. So, yeah, they were going to come get some fresh tires. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, everybody's still going to have one set left after this. So even if we see another caution, say, in 15 laps, we might see some more guys come down pit road trying to take on fresh rubber.
Yeah, it's like the cliche from the movie Days of Thunder. If you remember, they had a caution, 3 laps to go, and Cole Trickle was in the lead, and Cole said, Harry Hogg said, come to the pits, and he said, Wildwood Ford, it's almost over. At Darlington, mind you. Well, you've been under green for 58 laps. Everybody's got a pit call. I mean, the same thing here, with the exception of the caution flags we've had. Nobody has pitted, and we had those long green flag runs earlier in the first half of the race. So, yeah, cars are used up, tires are used up. You're going to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And we have a new leader.
Yeah, did he stay out, or is he just going to go in after everybody else goes in?
Either that or he took the wave around. It says Jimmy Coleman unofficially is your new leader. We'll see.
I can't.
In the Punisher car.
Oh, wow. Parker got out ahead of Falkingham on that pit stop exchange, by the way.
He did.
I think Parker only took 2 tires. I think he only took 2 tires. Let me see if I can get some confirmation on that for you.
So, John, here's my take of the whole Byron Logano situation. Last lap, it's fair game. Last couple of laps, it's fair game. Everybody's going to do what they're going to do. But with that said, you do unto others as they do unto you. Well, that's the written rule, the golden rule. That's what we're told. So in my opinion, the way William Byron raced Joey Logano made Joey Logano say to himself, well, hey, you're going to treat me this way? All right, well, when I finally get to you, I'm just going to move you out of the way and all bets are off. And I think that was the scenario that we had happen. And mind you, John, and I don't know if you know this or not, Racing America covered the race at Nashville in the North-South Super Late Model Challenge. And that's what a lot of people are posting. Hey, what goes around comes around, William Byron, because, John, in a pavement Super Late Model race on Saturday night at Nashville, before he ran at Darlington, he moved Stephen Nasty out of the way on a restart with 2 laps to go, and he roughed him up and moved him out of the way to get the win. He did that. And let's also be honest here. Stephen Nasty and William Byron, they also have history from the Snowball Derby.
Yes, they do, but that doesn't give Joey Logano a license to do what he did. And if you look at that restart that we're talking about, he never touched Joey. He didn't force Joey up into the wall. That was just Joey getting up into the wall on Joey's own self. But hey, we got a story right here. We got a story right here developing. you've got a guy leading this pack of cars right now that's been on track almost 20 laps longer on the set of tires he's got. That's Jimmy Coleman down there in that 54 car. To his outside, you got Parker with his 2 tires. So everybody behind these two has 4 tires. This is going to be, you think that we've seen some crazy restarts? Watch this.
Oh, this is going to be obviously the equivalent of you know what's going to happen. You know, we talk about what happens when old tires mix up with new tires and they get ran down. This is what's going to happen. This is the scenario. Watch this as the cloud cover also overtakes turn 1 and 2 on the restart. Look at Parker.
And that's what
John,
Parker needed to do.
away.
Parker
New
needed
leader.
to clear Coleman as quickly as he could. Yes. He needed to do that. He needed to get clear of the 4 cars as fast as he could. But unfortunately, here comes Falkingham. I wonder if he hears that Jaws theme in his headset. Dun,
Guess who's back?
dun,
Back again. Falkingham. Tell them, Brady. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? All right, watch him.
Parker right now is going to try and make that car as wide as he can. You watch. Oh, look at Falkingham stepping out. Wow. This is what we saw at Dover, Wesley. He's just driving the wheels off this car, getting everything out of that car that he possibly can right now.
Back straightaway, back into the corner. Into turn number 1 and 2. What used to be the old back straightaway at Darlington. Remember, they flip-flopped the racetrack. I want to say it was what?
Yeah.
2005. Oh, Ryan below.
Tommy Ryan way out of shape. And another one back there behind him, Benfield.
Yeah. Was that Benfield Montesi in front of him? 25 laps to go now. Under 25 to go. Meanwhile, Gonzalez, Beasley going at it. This is for 5th and 6th. This all happened behind Ryan a moment ago. Sliding away. Great lyrics to a song by Paul Simon, and that's actually what's happening as they work the home stretch at Darlington.
You're not going to believe this, but Parker is actually extending his lead over Falkingham right now.
That's great.
As I say that, he brushes the wall. Never mind. He got into the wall. Oh, no. I did.
All the while, we keep on going. No harm, no foul. To the home stretch we go. Under 25 laps to go. Now, 22 remaining. Track map, looking, leader in turn number 3 and 4, about to overcome lap traffic, the 21st place car. And other than that, they're using almost the entire 3/4 of the racetrack here at Darlington. So honestly, with a little gap of traffic, John, this entire track is being engulfed by cars.
Yes, it is. And I mean, we got guys all over the place on this track, and I'm watching this battle between Falkingham and Parker. And I mean, Daniel is just driving every ounce of that car out of it. I've never seen anybody drive as hard to try to get back a lead. And they've really stepped out over the rest of the field. They've got almost a 2.5 second lead over Daly, Ryan, and Gonzalez, the rest of the top 5. And man, Falkingham's just about Parker's back bumper right now as they overtake Workman on the front stretch.
Closing in on 20 to go now. There's Parker. There's Falkingham. Reeling him in like bait on a Bolt's Popper fishing lure hook as they go to the Bowen backstretch to 3. Parker, you got to think, John, he will become aggressive. He will do anything he can to try to hold off Falkingham at bay. Let's be honest, the only success Parker's had this year was being the pole car at Daytona in the 81 when the season started 10 weeks ago. In that Toyota Camry.
Oh, he's on a chase right there.
Falkingham outside. Whoa, new lead change.
New lead change, and Parker's not. If he can't get back to the bumper of Falkingham, there's nothing he can do. And again, I think it's those two tires are starting to show their face right here with Falkingham making that move on the outside like that when Parker lost it. But then as I say that, look at this. Parker just inches back in a little bit there. Man, what a race between these two.
Certainly a good one. Certainly a good one.
Oh, Mons making a move underneath Simley here. 12 of the 49.
Mons, Simley, that goes on for position. This is all the way back in the top 10, 7th and 8th. And remember, Justin, or remember Mons, Justin Mons, John, had problems earlier in the race in the first caution. What a way to redeem himself and get back through the field.
Absolutely. Man, a great top 10 run right here. Pan the camera back, take a look at Kevin Brown, who more recently had issues down the backstretch, found himself sitting the wrong way in traffic. Brown fighting with Dalton for that top 10 spot right there, Wesley.
Don't forget, coming up tonight, about 11:30 Eastern Time, join us for coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. For the next round of the Northwest Racing Series, the Cup cars will be at COTA. Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas will be there virtually. Coverage begins again, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central on iRacing on LSRTV. A decade of proudly being your home for sim racing. And John, for the most part, my friend, a very comfortable race here. It's gone by fairly quickly. It's not being calamity, caution, wreck fest like it was. What is that noise?
Sorry, that's the emergency alert system going off here in my town. I'll be back.
Oh, my goodness. The emergency alert system going off in the town of John Mushkin, so definitely better find out what's going on. Might be some nasty weather over there, man. Anyhow, 14 laps to go. Falkingham is the leader. Look at this now, battle shaping up with Benfield. Benfield coming after Coleman for that spot and more. 13 remaining. Falkingham back out in front. Never look back. He's there again. So, with that being said, it's down to the end here with 12 laps to go, a dozen remaining. With Falkingham over Parker, looking now, Big Glazier up the hill. He slow, most puts it up into the wall. With Dalton right there behind him. This is for 9th and 10th. Bentley Glazier, remember the Mountain Dew number 18 winner of the Bristol Dirt Race a few weeks back for the SIM500 Cup Series. Remember, next weekend we're going to Kansas. Next weekend it's Kansas for round number 11 of the season. And then in 2 weeks' time, we prepare for a big one, a special one, the 3rd annual hashtag Never Quit 240 Fighting with Burrow benefit race. That's 160 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway. That will be on May the 23rd. Make your plans. 10 remaining. Falkingham leads, no change. There's Kelly, lap car, Coors Light machine down to the bottom. Byron Daly came out of this race 6 points over Falkingham. He sits 3rd on the racetrack. Another good point stave for the 06 Chevrolet Camaro. Ryan behind him at 99. Gonzalez in the top 5. Moving by Henderson, the lap car. 10, now make it 9 laps to go. John, everything okay in your neck of the woods, brother?
Yes, sir. That was an emergency alert system going off. Sorry that you guys had to hear that. That was for an Amber Alert, actually. Apparently there's a child that has been abducted here. So sorry about that. At least it wasn't bad weather or the aliens.
Falkenham,
All right, was that inappropriate?
Parker. Falkenham, Parker, Daly, Ryan, Gonzalez, top 5.
Yeah,
And
once
them Amber
Falkenham
Alerts,
got around
they're
Parker,
fleeting.
that was it. Do what?
I said, yeah, those Amber Alerts, they come through the EAS system now. And, of course, obviously we want to, you know, you definitely want to make sure that that person gets found for sure. 7 remaining.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Glazer in the wall. The 19
Glazer
got
in
in
the wall. Yep.
These guys are
That's
so tired
Glazer
right
and
now.
Dalton. They've
I
been battling.
promise
They
you.
have been battling. They've been battling, John, since you stepped away. That's been probably the best battle on the racetrack here between 9th, 10th, and 11th. Finally break away from one another. They work off of turn number 3 and 4. And it's all Falkenham leading the way. Glazer on the inside. Dalton will carry Coleman with him, and 5 to go. Back to turn 1.
You got wicked loose coming off of 4 right there. So remember that last restart we had? We had Coleman stayed out on old tires. Remember that? He is now 15th, 18 laps behind the leader. That's a bad bluff in poker. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's, well, yes.
That's a really bad bluff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know you don't have any aces in your deck, pal, because I've got them all. What are you doing?
17 cars on the lead lap, by the way, as this race comes to a close.
A lot of destroyed race cars out there, too.
Yeah, for the most part, this race, first half, pretty comfortable, pretty quiet. No problems. Get down to the second half, we had that stretch of lengthy cautions, but since we've had that final restart with under 30 laps to go, it's been all clean. With Falkenham finally getting around Parker. And you got to remember, John, Falkenham took on 4 tires. Parker took on 2. Is that the benefactor right there that hurt Parker?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know, because you're talking about Falkenham, who I mean, dominates this series apparently. If you look at the timing right now, Parker is 2 seconds ahead of Daly and Ryan and Gonzalez, and those guys all took 4. You follow what I'm saying? So it paid off, but it didn't, if you follow my drift. Falkenham was just that much better than the entire field. Okay? Parker takes 2 tires, still has a 2-second lead over everybody else, but has given up 2 seconds to Falkenham, who had 4. So it just seems to me, like I said, as we come to the final lap here for Daniel Falkenham, it helped Parker, but you know, at the same time, it hurt him when it came to racing with Falkenham.
The CRN 1 to go. Final time around. Falkenham brings it into turn number 3. Another open book shut case. Somebody's going to have to put a bounty on him in SIM500 competition before it's over with. He dominates here tonight at Darlington and wins round 10 of the NC81 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. It is going to be Falkenham winning. Parker, a good run for him, second. And I believe, as me and John said, 2 tires are just not as good as 4. And that strategy, I think, overall hurt him. Byron Daly, another
only
strong
if you're trying
run
to beat
for the man
Falkenham.
second in the points, finishing third. What were you saying, John?
Only if you're trying to beat Daniel Falkenham. I mean, his 2 tires stood up great against everybody behind them. You see what I'm saying? Who also all had 4 tires. Like, he was the only one that pitted on that stop, and with everybody else that took 2. So he actually beat everybody else except Daniel Falkingham, who is just apparently bulletproof and unbeatable.
10 feet tall and bulletproof for the man to the number 39, as it is another victory for the driver in the January 31st 39 throwback to the Tide colors of Ricky Craven or Darrell Waltrip, whoever drove the Tide ride, Scott Pruitt. I think of some of those
Well, I
drivers
talked
named,
to him.
obviously.
This one's based on Ricky Craven's car. That particular paint scheme is based on Ricky Craven's car that won here at Darlington with that really exciting race between himself and Kurt Busch.
What a race that was. That was in 2002 in the, of course, Transaf Financial 400, a wild race where they were side by side. Here is a look at your unofficial race results. Falkingham, a win again, third win on the series. Josh Parker, second. You see the interval, 2.5 seconds back. Byron Daly, third. Ryan, good run for Gonzalez, by the way. Good comeback for Justin Mons with problems earlier in the race, a solid top 10. Same can be said for racing that we covered along the finish with Simley, Brown, Beasley, and Glazier, your top 10.
Coming home 11th, Tyler Dalton in the 19, Montez in the number 6 car in 12th. 13th, Stoney Benfield. He's definitely improving over time here. Dave Comstock in the 13th came home 14th. Jimmy Coleman gambled, didn't take any tires, stayed out, and it cost him big time. Fell all the way to 15th, 23 seconds behind the leader. Glenn Campbell in the 44 comes home 16th. Joey Jatina in the 14 comes home 17th. 18th is Chad Coleman. 19th, Doug Ross. Closing out your top 20, Bobby Wetzel in the 9 car.
21st, Elliott Henderson, problems throughout the race, puts him 3 laps down. Paul Crumry, also a bad night. Mike Kelly, Stencil Ryan, the top 25. Brian Wortman, Trey Edson, followed by Macklin having issues in the race, falling all the way back to 28th. Doug Sigmund and Ron Holyfield, your top 30.
And closing out the last 5, Robert Freer to the 3rd and 31st. 32nd, Charles Wood. 33rd, Eric Arnold in 31. Chris Cabot in the 5. And Jose Medina, who did not even start the race, finishes out in the 35th place.
And maybe one last time on the bottom left, we can see the race information, or actually the caution information there in total. There it is for the tally of the race. 5 caution flags for 20 laps. 5 lead changes, and the most of those lead changes was Daniel Falkingham getting past cars during restarts or on caution or green flag pit stops to take the lead back, and that's how it goes. Hey, coming up, the finish line post-race wrap-up. Join Charles Wooten and myself every Wednesday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 Central. Of course, with coverage, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern is what I meant to say, with coverage of Finish Line. Boy, we got a great guest lineup, including this week, Fabian Brown, voice of NHRA with Alan Reinhart. We're talking the NHRA at Virginia Motor Speedway. Dylan Fetcho, winner at Nashville, is going to be on. Dave Hess, winner at Erie Speedway. And plus some other guests along the way, including Matt DeLorenzo, Fonda, New York, Big Block Modified winner. Cole Butcher, winner at Oxford Plains. And Ronnie Riggs, the Batman 44 from the dirt and pavement of the Carolinas, is on as well. Finish Line. And when we come back, we talk to the top 3 with our Finish Line post-race wrap-up, including Falkingham, Parker, and Daly. Don't go anywhere. We're back. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Hey, welcome back to Darlington Raceway. It is time for the finish line post-race wrap-up, and we are going to grab a word with our top 3 finishers, including Mr. Daniel Falkingham. They have to put a bounty on this guy before it's over with. Obviously, he's got to go through that laser disc blueprint inspection. I think everything will come out good, though. This guy's just kicking butt and taking names in SIM500. We'll talk to him in a moment. Man that finished in third, the 06. He was second in the points, 6 points behind Falkingham. And a good points day for the driver of the 06, Byron Daly. You finished on the podium in third. Your take of things, buddy, here tonight at Darlington.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was a little bit trashed there, honestly. I just had nothing for Daniel, and just kind of a little bit disappointed in myself for being so slow. But, you know, it was a good, you know, after a terrible qualifying effort, it was actually nice to kind of recover from that. There's a lot of things that could have went wrong there, so kind of take what we got for today and move on to the next one.
Well, I think John stepped away here again, so
sorry.
Go ahead, John.
I apologize for that. Myron, it's Mustin. Listen, man, I was on track with you guys during practice. Talked to a lot of y'all in the garage, and the scene, for the most part, everybody found the setup to be really, really loose and difficult coming off turns. Did you find it that way, and how did you adjust your driving style in the race for that?
Yeah, honestly, it got, you know, quite a bit loose off of turn 2, and, you know, I was really hoping that would stay longer throughout the run, but as you ran, it just tightened up, and then you just started plowing. And you get stuck behind somebody, you're just done, because the chances for a mistake are over at least, you know, 2-3 laps into the run. So the restarts, I know there's probably a few guys that was really aggressive there in the initial start of the race, but honestly, like, the restarts are the only time you're going to make a pass on somebody, because if they got loose off of 2, you can you know, get a run off of it. So I was a little disappointed in that. Like, I thought it'd be a little bit tougher throughout the whole run, but it kind of just plowed, at least for me. Just tore the right front off it as we ran, and yeah, there was much you can do after that. It was fun for 3 laps, though.
Well, obviously, it's on to Kansas next week, Byron. So, Bud, before we do let you go, thank your sponsors, and good solid run here tonight being on the podium.
Yeah, it's always fun to come and talk to you all. You know, thanks to SIM500, you guys at LSR for broadcasting. It's, I think, 811 before you dig. You know, everybody puts this stuff on. It's fun to do. And, yeah, hopefully come back stronger.
There's the thoughts, of course, of Byron Daly, up 21 spots at the race in tonight to finish here in the number 3 position, and a good solid points run for him after being only 6 behind Falkingham coming in tonight at Darlington. Runner-up of the race, well, you know, second place is good. 26 spots up to the finish, the 81 of Josh Parker. Haven't really talked much about him since he set fire whenever he was on the pole in Daytona. Josh, your take of Darlington, the strategy. If you could go back and do it again, would you do 4 tires instead of 2?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was pretty much just a track position race. I needed that to get a clean air in front of a couple of people. So I wanted a couple more yellows. I think it would have worked out that way. 2 tires would have been the call, but since it went green, I was just happy I was able to hold off for a second.
Well, Josh, when I saw that decision to take 2 like there, I kind of questioned it first, but then I thought, well, maybe it'll work out for him. And it sort of did, but it sort of didn't when you stop and look at the fact that, yeah, Falkingham eventually got by you and won the race, but you did stay out ahead of everybody else that had 4 tires behind you. So, I mean, it kind of worked out and it kind of didn't. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, the 2 tires didn't feel too bad. It was just after, I would say after Dan passed me, it kind of neutralized themselves to everybody else, and I was able just to run the same lap times I were running. But like I said, it was just a point blank track position call, and anything, I guess anything higher than 30th from where I started is a plus.
Josh, what's your take of the race, man? Obviously finishing second, but a lot of strategy. Obviously, some people were talking about the back end of these cars coming out during practice. What do you think the work was that went behind you and the team, and as well as the drivers on the SIM500 Cup Series, to try to run a pretty comfortable race there in the first half?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was, these cars are really tight until you get a few laps on them. So I in practice, my fastest lap was like my 5th or 6th lap into the run. So once you get around that, it's pretty good. I kind of didn't really push the limits at all tonight, so I didn't really put myself in a bad situation. I don't think I touched the wall. So between last night and tonight, I don't think I got a scratch on my car, so that's a plus.
Well, it's on to the next one, Josh. Thank your sponsors, man. Good run tonight.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I ran a throwback scheme here from my 2009 Pro Series Championship scheme, so this was pretty cool. I was hoping to win that. I would have wrecked Dan for the win, but I wasn't close enough. And yeah, so I want to thank everyone. Yeah, everybody, broadcast, everybody, SIM500.
He
Jed,
literally, Josh Parker for a 2nd spot. And John, I don't know if you caught that. He said if I could literally ran back down Daniel, I'd have wrecked him because I wanted to win the race in that car.
I was not going to say a word. I'm not saying a word.
Josh Parker, 2nd spot. Victory lane we go. Daniel Falkingham, win number 3 of the year. You held off Josh Parker to avoid the win and calamity. Congratulations to you, Daniel. Man, I say this humbly. Great job, great win, great run. But my goodness, dude, we got to put a bounty on you.
Yeah, if you put that bounty on me last week, you'd be banking rich after the stupid mistake I made last week. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. Darlington, I love this track, and just definitely an interesting car to drive, just being more on the tight side, so you had to take care of that right front, but just having that clean air at the start of the race just allowed me to just scoot away and get a big lead on the pit stops and stuff, which allowed me to retain the lead again after we had that caution after that long run, and then just having to manage track position, getting around Josh with those 2 tires. Pretty much got lucky when he got loose off turn 2, and I was able to just get him around the outside. And that was pretty much my opening gate to get away. So definitely take it. Glad to get another win. Definitely want to make up for it after that stupid mistake I made last week. And it feels good to sweep the week, Truck Xfinity N Cup, and the Rookie Craven throwback back to 2003. So definitely feels good to get it done.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to push the button. Hey, Daniel, John here, man. Listen, dude. I don't know what you're doing, but I will pay you to teach me how to do it.
Hey, man, the first advice I can give you is just sit 10 feet away from your monitor and you're good to go.
All joking aside, man, congrats on that win tonight. When you saw Coleman stay out on old tires and then Parker's got 2 tires, what went through your mind right there? What were you thinking about getting around these guys?
Yeah, it definitely was interesting. I knew Coleman, he didn't have a rear clip whatsoever, so I knew that was going to be interesting. I thought I was going to be screwed going into turn 1 because he was definitely down on speed, but I had Tommy on my right rear going into 1, so I kind of had to push the envelope there to get myself clear. And then just Josh was able to time the restart well where he could get away, and he got a little bit of a lead, and plus that clean air means so much. But it definitely took me a few laps once I got around that, it took me a few laps because we were just so free on cold tires. So I had to wait for my tires to get back up to temperature where I could finally push the limits, where I wasn't like breaking sideways off the corner because it's so hard to save these things. So once you get loose, you're done pretty much. So I needed my tires coming to temperature, and thankfully I got the green flag run I needed to go catch Josh. We got on his bumper. I don't know how it would have been if he didn't get loose off 2. We would have had a heck of a battle. Definitely would have been interesting to pass him because if I didn't get around him right away, then I probably would have been raced over since he would just had the track position in the clean air. So we thankfully made out pretty good on that after that restart. Just glad no chaos, no calamity happened, and we were able to get away through there without a scratch.
Well, it's on to the next one, of course. That's Kansas, Charlotte, all on the way. Daniel, where can you attribute the work on the car, obviously, because there was a lot of chat and conversation about just how loose these cars were, how ill-handling they were. Did you wreck the car yourself during practice behind the scenes? And was that something you had to work on also to make sure you didn't slip up and make?
Yeah, for sure. Just getting into practice with having limited time, just trying to push the limits of practice, see what you can do, see what you can't. And I definitely learned that pretty quickly, what you can do and what you can't do. I mean, on that restart, the final restart, when I was trying to chase down Josh, I almost wrecked it off turn 2 a few times. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I was dead sideways, and the last thing I was doing, trying to make sure I don't overcorrect back the other way, and thankfully I didn't do that. So definitely learned what you can do with the limits and just making sure you don't completely junk it. But definitely learned that going into the race. But I mean, it was only free for a few laps just because the tires were cold. But once they got the temperature, it was just more like just plowing, just so much on the tight side. We were out of the throttle a lot, not just because we were loose, but just because the front end just would not connect with the racetrack. So it was definitely a challenge for sure, but not in terms of what you think. So definitely had to manage the right front a lot for sure to have that long run speed. But thankfully, with just having the clean air at the beginning, we could just take our time. We could just control the pace. I could control how I wanted it to, and thankfully that played out. I could just run my pace, and I was able to pull away. So, but yeah, these cars definitely have these challenges. No matter if it's tight, no matter if it's loose, just still wrapping around this new car. So it's definitely a blast to drive when it's fun. But tonight it was just definitely difficult to just not plow the wall down. But thankfully we didn't do that, and we kept it clean.
On to the next one, buddy. Congratulations to you, man. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors.
Yep, as always, got to thank First Air Bait Labs 207. Also January 31st, and SRD Setups, Sim Racing Development. I got to thank everyone at SIM500 who runs the show, Joey and all the admins, everyone who races each and every week. Thank NC811 for all they do for the series. Got to thank everyone at Team Name, Josh, Byron, Coleman, Chad, David, Beasley, Kevin, and everyone else I may be forgetting. Thanks to all those guys for their support every week. Everyone back at North Force Racing, Preston Gilson, the whole crew over there, and all my teammates, Tyler Gary, Parker White, Dana Bud Fuco, David Shieldhouse, Dylan Basin, and our new teammate Colton Salick. Got a big race coming up Thursday night with Road to Pro. Second to last race of round 1, so hopefully we can have a clean race over there. But yeah, big race coming up Thursday, so appreciate all those guys over there, work behind the scenes. Got to thank Cosman, Splash Go Graphics, for painting up this beautiful throwback and for doing it for all 3 of my vehicles. I'm glad we could sweep the week with our Ricky Craven 2003 throwback. So a special shout out for him to getting it done for me. Thank you guys for on the broadcast. You guys kill with the broadcast each and every week. Definitely gonna look forward to go back and watching this. Special shout out to all the fans who watch each and every week, and thanks to all the fans, or thanks to all my friends and family who show their support each and every week as well.
There you go. I think Daniel covered everything, folks, so we're going to say goodnight. No, that's not Daniel Falkenham. He picks up the win here at his 3rd win this year at Darlington. John, that is going to wrap things up here, though, as we do wrap up here tonight at Darlington. Get ready for Kansas next week, round 11, SIM500, NC81 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. Your final take of Darlington as we call it a night, brother.
Not surprised at all the way this race wound up. We knew there was going to be some rumpled up race cars. We knew that the track Too Tough to Name was going to eat some sheet metal, and she did. But hey, it was a good race towards the end. Had a great race between Parker and Falkenham for a little while there. But I'm all about this putting a bounty on Falkenham's head, so maybe we need to look into that.
Of course, as always, you can follow the SIM500 Esports League on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And, of course, at LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well at livesimracingtv.com. And, yes, suffice to say, I think that a bounty does need to go on for somebody as good as Daniel Falkenham. But, I mean, hey, it's not bragging if you back it up. And one thing for sure, he is getting it done. We step away for about a half hour. We come back at 11:30 Eastern Time with coverage with Justin Prince and myself of the Northwest Cup Series from the, of course, Circuit of the Americas. As always, for Jeff Stabnow, Mason Heimbaugh, Charles Wooten, everybody on production for Live Sim Racing. For John Muschin, I'm Wesley Outland. We'll see you next week, Sim 500.